In the end, you could say it might have been dumb luck, but maybe we get robbed of a dynasty if the Warriors never trade Jason Richardson back in '07. June 28th, 2007 is basically the Warriors trading Jason Richardson and the draft rights to Jermario Davidson to the Charlotte
Yeah,
Bobcats for, I think, the seventh pick, Brandon Wright. I think he was seventh. Now, I kind of have like a love-hate relationship with this trade. It kind of worked out in their favor in the end, but at the time
yeah,
of it, it was bad. So let's run through it. From 1995 to 2006, a 12-year period, the Warriors made the playoffs a grand total of 0 times. We talk about the Sacramento Kings right now and the Minnesota Timberwolves, the drought that they were on. 12 years is a long time to not make the playoffs. In 2007, they make the trade for Steven Jackson, Al Harrington. They bring them in. They have Baron Davis, Monta Ellis, Jason Richardson, and it basically becomes the We Believe team. They rally at the end of the season, sneak in as the eighth seed, knock out the 67-win Mavericks, go to the second round, lose to Utah. Cool. You didn't make the finals. You didn't make the conference finals. You made the semis. You would think that that's an achievement for the Warriors. You're coming off 12 seasons, not making the playoffs. So ideally, you're thinking, okay, we're going to go into the offseason and try to build on this, try to get better, and try to, just build on this momentum. But no, they decide we want to trade the heart and soul of our team, the longest tenured player on our roster, the guy who's been here since we sucked, to the Bobcats for an unproven rookie. And in my opinion, like the Warriors should have just held on to Jason Richardson. There was some stuff about them paying him, going into the luxury, whatever. If you haven't made the playoffs in 12 years, if you're losing your fans' interest and you're finally making the playoffs, and remember when the Warriors that season in the playoffs, that We Believe, every single home game, remember how they were showing the little like the meter, how loud the fans were getting? Dude, that's because those fans were so starved of all those years of mediocrity. Keep the core intact, man. Keep building on it. They get rid of Jason Richardson. The next year, they actually have a really good season. They go 48-34, I think it was. But in this time, that's not good enough to make the playoffs in the West, which is like ridiculous. And then the years after that, they don't do good, man. They're like 20, 30 wins. They don't make the playoffs until 2013. So they go through like a 6-year drought, not making the playoffs. And I'm thinking, okay, if you have Jason Richardson on that '08 team that won 48 games, to me, your chances of winning more games increases. You keep the momentum going. You make the playoffs another year. That's what I'm thinking. So what do the Warriors get back? They get back Brandon Wright. Dude plays 3.5 seasons with the Warriors. Doesn't really do much for them. And then he gets shipped to the Nets with Dan Gadzurich for Troy Murphy and a second-round pick. That's the Brandon Wright time in Golden State. Jason Richardson, the 2 years after this deal, averages about 19 and a half points split between the Bobcats and the Suns. So he's still productive. You have him on that '08 team, just why not, man? They chose to go in a different direction. It didn't work out with Brandon Wright. Now, the reason why I told you it's a love-hate with this trade is because of this. This trade happened in 2007. If they keep Jason Richardson on the team, there's a good chance they stay competitive. They keep making the playoffs. Cool. But remember, Steph Curry got drafted in 2009, only 2 years after this deal. Who's to say that if the Warriors stay competitive, they never get the seventh pick to take Steph Curry? Who knows if this dynasty ever happens for them? And also, even further down the line, when they trade Brandon Wright to the Nets, that second round pick that the Nets give the Warriors is what the Warriors use to draft Draymond Green in 2012. So you're kind of like, maybe if they stay competitive, there's no chance of Curry. If they don't get Brandon Wright, maybe there's no chance they trade him to the Nets, get Draymond Green. So in the end, you could say it might have been dumb luck, but maybe we get robbed of a dynasty if the Warriors never trade Jason Richardson back in '07. So it's like a love hate. It's trading him in the short term sucked, but it might have paid dividends in the long run.
yeah. I definitely think that's like the thing I was saying with Rick Barry, because
That's why I made the
like, how do you get
connection.
this? Yeah, how do you get that second overall pick without sucking for 17 games? You know what I mean? That one's tough, man. I still think it is a bad trade. Like you don't know the future, right? So like no one knows like Steph Curry is gonna be the man. In the moment, you say it's a bad trade, you know?
If you're a team that's been bad for so long, you taste success one season and then you make a drastic move like that to get significantly worse.
Yeah, like
That's
imagine if the Kings make the playoffs next year.
man, I'm rooting
Imagine if
for
the
them,
Kings
bro.
make you rooting for them,
Yeah, man. They haven't made the playoffs in so long. Like, I don't think
but
any
then
fan base should have to go through that.
but then imagine if they make it, right? They make the playoffs next year. Somehow they make it to the second round. And then they're like, let's trade De'Aaron Fox and Richaun Holmes. Like, we don't want to make the playoffs again next year.
Basically what the Warriors did.
Yeah, that was weird.